I see it.
Hey, we are back. Welcome to episode 92 of the Penciled In Podcast with Ingrid and Lindsey. Today we have an exclusive first view of your face, Eric Lanz, who is otherwise known as the Trading Card Archivist. You have a YouTube channel. You do a lot of unboxing. We can't wait to find out who you are. We are relatively new to you. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you very much for having me here today. It's honestly an honor to be here with such a famous artist. Like you might not consider yourselves that way, but we do in the collecting world. So,
oh, it's so nice. Well, Eric, we're going to start today. We're going to go right back to the past. We want to know what first got you interested in trading cards and sort of spurred on your hobby and desire to collect.
Oh, sure. That's a great story, in fact. So I grew up in Canada, in Windsor, Ontario. That's where I was born. So, yeah, I love you, Ingrid. And still kind of my home country. I live in Los Angeles now, but I love Canada more. And back then, there were these things called sticker albums. So it wasn't trading cards so much. They were, I don't know if you've seen these before, but they're basically like turtles.
Gone.
Yeah, and so inside you collect the stickers and then put, the numbered stickers in the book where you get them. And so I remember going to the gas station before school every day, and you'd buy a pack for like 25 cents or something, open it, and then you get duplicate stickers. Then on the bus, you trade them with everyone else. I had so many of these books back then. I had a He-Man one, I had the Star Wars one, I had Turtles, of course, I had Star Trek, I had Mario, a lot of these. And then my sister would have...
But is your Turtles one, is that one from the 80s?
Oh yeah, that is an original. So I paid... way too much money to get this now, but you can still find these on eBay. And when I got it, it was in fact completely sealed and still had the Zellers. I don't know if you know this story, Ingrid. Yeah, so it still had the Zellers sticker, price stickers on it, which was amazing.
Oh, I'm just a massive, huge Ninja Turtles fan. So I got really excited when I saw that. I remember seeing the stickers when I was little, but I could never afford any of them. I used to get the comic every week, though.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but that's how it got me started. And then ever since then, I was just obsessed with this idea of, you open a pack, it could have anything in it, right? And back then it was just stickers, but these days it could be signatures, it could be gold coins. You never know what could be in there. Dragon skin, it could be a lot of things inside those packs. And so it's kind of like a magical thing for me. And I also love the physicality of it. So when I'm looking for hobbies, I'm always looking for something I can do that isn't on a computer, because my work is all computers. And so, I'm on one now, but I want to be, touching things and sorting things and organizing things and not typing anymore. So, yeah.
Did when you used to open your packs, I especially liked shinies. I used to get very excited when I got a shiny.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the dream, right? Is you open a pack and it's going to be the foiled version or the rare version. And so learning about all of those different rarity levels and how they work for the different manufacturers is also kind of like super interesting. For example, in the West, a lot of the sets work on these like parallel systems, where you'll have the base set and then they'll have like a green version of it. And then they'll have a red version. The red version will be serial numbered. So there's only a certain number of those cards in the world, right? And it'll go all the way up to like a gold version where it'll be one of one of those cards. But they all have the same image on them. But in other countries, the rarity is done completely differently, where each rarity level is a totally different style of card and a completely different design with different treatments. And you have these chase rarities then that are completely unique cards that just don't exist in the base set at all. And it makes it a lot more interesting, I think, to look at those sets.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is a really cool idea. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
What's your favorite set of a set like that has just unique cards all the way through? From
I think right now, this could be very strange one, but this is currently my favorite set. This is called Shadow Puppets.
Ooh.
And this is actually a cut relic of so there's like a puppet that's a dragon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it would be used in a puppet show in China. And they actually had one of the like very famous ones, and they cut it into pieces and put the pieces into the card.
So it's like a relic card.
It's exactly correct. So it's a relic, but of a puppet from a puppet show. And I don't know why, but I just love this card. It's also serial numbered to 133. So pretty cool card.
Wow. So do you really, really like the special cards that you get? You know, your relics and your
this coin like this too.
Oh, is that ever nice, man?
That's beautiful.
Oh.
So that's like an actual gold coin inside of this card.
That is gorgeous.
It's for do you know the Studio Ghibli, like those animated movies?
Love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, so this is a My Neighbor Totoro gold coin inside the card. Yeah, amazing, right?
Want.
Very, very rare though. These are incredibly. In fact, you can't even buy these anymore. Yeah, a lot of the sets that I'm looking at will be for sale for like a couple of weeks, and then they're gone. They're very small print runs, and if you're not there right at the beginning, you just won't get a box.
Is that how you stay on top of it then? Do you stay on mailing lists to keep up with when things are coming out?
That was kind of the genesis of the channel, is that there was nothing like that. Even in the independent card world, there really is. I mean, there's like there's one trading card magazine, but it's very, I don't think a lot of people have it, but there's not really any big websites or anything like that kind of track this sort of releases that are going to happen. So it's a lot of what I'm doing is spending time going through Facebook, going through all of the leg day card sites, all that kind of stuff, trying to figure out like what's going to be coming next, what are the next Kickstarters, so that I can tell people ahead of time, so they don't have to be so sad when they see me open something and they can't get it anymore, right? But everyone is still very sad about that.
I mean, a lot of like with us smaller publishers, I mean, when I do a set, I only order 100 of the set.
Right.
So once that's gone,
that's
you know, that's
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, with a channel like mine, my hope is that I could sell that out very quickly, and then we could get maybe a second print run, right?
That's the dream. That's what you want.
Right. That's the dream. Yeah. It's all about sort of finding these niches in the market that just don't have any representation right now, giving it that representation, and then building that audience to be bigger, because that helps everybody. Of course, it helps you sell more cards, but it also helps me as a collector, because now I can trade and sell my cards, whereas before I might not have been able to, right? There was no market at all for a lot of this stuff, but now there is.
If I may say, there is something you touched on there. It kind of makes me think that I think something that you do, and also the Non-Sport Update magazine as well, and all that, try to keep people informed of some of the bigger companies, but the smaller ones too, so that hopefully we can get some more collectors in, so that both the big and the small can continue. And because it's fun for us to do. It's a lot of work, but it's fun for us to do. But if there's nobody to collect, well, then we can't really do it. We really depend on collectors. They have no idea how important they are. Just
I hope that's very kind. It's very true though. Like I would love to just grow this audience even bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think like when I started the channel, the trading card world, especially the sports card world, was kind of at the bottom. It was like had really tanked for a long time, and then it just seems to be exploding now in the non-sport world. And I'm so happy about it, because that's where I like to be.
When did you start your channel?
Pretty much exactly 1 year ago. I think it might be the actual anniversary, like this week sometime. It was in April.
I mean, one market I think that's not quite been tapped yet is
love it. Awesome.
Just art collectors in general, because a lot of people think to own a piece of art you have to have wall space, or but with cards, you can store them away, you can collect prints, you can buy originals for an affordable price. Like, there's so much, choice in there for things you can have. But I think a lot of people just aren't aware of what's out there and what they can get.
It's very true. Again, and a lot of the reason I chose this hobby, right? Like before, I had spent about 5 years of my life building like model kits. Like this kind of thing. And I loved that hobby because, again, it's really physical. You get to paint them and all that kind of stuff, but they take up so much space, right? And all my shelves were just still kind of are filled with those. Whereas with trading cards, I can get much better density. Like you said, like I can store hundreds in the same spot as like one model. And so that has been great for me too, is just I now have so much more, but my wife is not angry because it takes up the same amount of space.
But they're also interesting to look at as well, though. Like if you get a set from, say, like Perna Studios with all the different artists on, and they're great to just sit and peruse, aren't they?
Oh, I loved it. Like when I was opening the Dragon set, it's just there's so many different styles in the set, different artists. I mean, I think it was just maybe a few artists, but there's like different art styles on the different types of cards. I love that kind of thing too. And any set where it's art focused is kind of a set that I'm really going to love the most. I'll show you one that is just unbelievably cute here. It's a dog set, and it's just art. Dog art. It's called Woof World. Woof World. Oh. I've got a box here too of it.
That's great.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's just the cat world. Art cards. Yeah, it's not. It's not sports players. It's not relics. It's nothing like that. It's just fun art, and it's cute, and I love it. The Christmas Krampus cards were exactly like that, right? It's just an art piece, and I love it. I remember opening them and thinking when I saw the Christmas tree, like, this is the one, like, if I was going to make one big, I want that one big. Like, that's the one I would want.
I can show you that one. The originals I did, I think, are they 10 by 8? No, might not be quite that big. I didn't put them up for sale because I'm not quite sure what's happening. I thought, usually, because how I usually go about things, I'll draw the original art, sketch card size, and then I can sell the sketch cards along with, the printed sets.
Sure.
But for Krampus, I wanted to do it bigger because you're limited if you do it that size. You can't really do like a calendar, because my original idea was to have a calendar. That's why on the backs you've got all the little calendars and stuff like that.
That would be you should sell. I would buy that calendar.
Well, the original idea for the calendar was like 12 months, and then you get those extra images of him just absolutely having a great time.
Yeah, that would be so cool, right? For the December month.
A calendar and a poster art book. I mean, I'll get around to that, but that's how they look.
That's so cool! Wow.
Awesome! Wow.
Amazing.
But you can fit so much more in doing them larger. So they were a lot of fun. It took me a long time though.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, you can tell it's great. It's just another thing you love is when you can see the sort of love of the artists in the set. I love seeing that too. I don't know. I've got some kitten cat ones here too that are pretty cute.
Kitty cat.
There's a guy. I'm not kidding. I'm obsessed with cats. You can probably tell from my shirt.
Oh, me also.
But
Lindsey,
these are
Gary set. Oh God.
Cats with jobs.
I want that.
So there's a singer, a writer, fireman cat.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, love it.
And again, it's not based on any franchise. It's just fun art in a set. That's what I love.
And that's there's something for everyone when you have a variety of themes and subjects and stuff. Well, then, it's, all kinds of stuff. Please,
sorry, go on.
No, go on.
No, it's all right. I was just going to say for the next Kickstarter I'm doing a range of mini sets, so I can kind of test the water with what people are going to like and what's worth pursuing to do a larger set. Because when I first started, I was kind of launching into it with a full tuck box like Krampus and the weird behaviour and Die Rabbit Die, all that kind of thing. But I thought, let's test it and see what happens. Because I absolutely love drawing cats, so I had to start including some cats. I mean, I've got Kitty here, but I've never done a Kickstarter for him. He sneaks onto other people's sets.
Right, yeah, we saw him in many sets. Yeah, I would love to get one, though. Maybe put him to work, give him lots of jobs.
There you go, Ingrid.
So what really motivated you to start your channel, and have you expanded from there, and what's your goal for your...
That's great. Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a goal so much. But yeah, basically, I was moving between hobbies. I was coming out of the modeling kit world and getting into the trading card world. I still remember when I bought my first, gosh, what was the first box? I think it was Star Wars Chrome. Yeah, the first box was Star Wars Chrome from a couple years ago. That's like an official top set. And I opened it on my own here, and I'm like, well, this is cool. I love opening it on my own. I tried to show my wife. She didn't, she doesn't care that much, which is fine. And I'm kind of don't have a lot of people to show it to or to talk to about it. So I was like, okay, well, I got to do something here. So I made a website first, and that's tradingarchives.com. It's a real website. I always say that in my videos because people think it's just a YouTube channel, but there is actually a website too. Oh. And it started that way where what I would do is I would get a box and I would open one pack from the box, and then I would sort of review the box, tell everyone about it, show the cards that I got in that one pack, and then I would put the box away on the shelf with all the unopened packs still in it. And I just kept doing that for months and months and months. And after a while, I had, like, at this point, I have over 300 boxes like that here. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But they're all kind of have a few packs missing, but the rest are still unopened. And then I started to realize that I could mix and match them. And so I could make like a cat-themed article where I just opened one pack of all my cat sets, because I have many cat sets, which again, that's strange, right? But there's so many that I have many of them. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, this is really cool, but I think it would be even better if I could film this and make it live. And so I set up my camera. At first, I didn't even have like an official mat or anything like that. I just had a Pokemon mat, I think, under the videos. And I was so nervous, I wouldn't talk at all. So the videos were just silent, me opening the packs. That was the first month or so. And then I started to talk, and people like that. I tend to ramble a lot in my videos. Like, I'm doing it right now. I tell a lot of old stories and things from my life. And I think people just love to do that. It's kind of like, cards, and I called one channel like Cards and Coffee, and I would just sit there and drink coffee, open cards, tell stories, and we'd all just talk. And it was a fun way to sort of enjoy the cards, but to also share that with everybody else.
It makes you more approachable when you do it that way also, and it's kind of like sitting down with a friend then.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the exact vibe I'm trying to get. Is it's not me trying to be an expert or anything like that. I'm just a collector like you. Well, you are artists, but I like my channel viewers, and we're on the same level, right? They could do everything I'm doing too, and I show them how. In every video, I'm like, this box only costs $15. Like, that's 2 cups of coffee, right? You can get one of these for yourself and open it. And so many people have. So I know it's hard to see, but on YouTube, there's 30 or 40 more channels like mine now than there were when I started. And it's all viewers of mine that started their own channels and just are doing the same thing. Sometimes in their own countries. So a lot in France, a lot in Spain and South America. It's awesome to see. Yeah.
I can sympathize with the fact you have to kind of look for people who are into the same things as you, because people are the same with me. They're not interested in my cards. And
we're out there. It's hard to find them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a nice little community when you do find these people.
Exactly. That was kind of the goal, I would say, was to build a community like that.
Yeah, that's lovely. So you mentioned the Chrome. Was that the first ever card set you ever bought?
I think so, yeah. I believe that was the first box I bought after kind of getting out of the model kit world. So I've always been obsessed with trading cards pretty much my entire life. But it was more the games, like trading card games. Like, I don't play Magic, but I played the Star Wars game where it was trading cards, and they also had a game element to it. And I did that for many, many, many years. But the whole time, I kept just wanting to open packs. That's all I wanted to do, right? I wasn't actually playing the game that often. I was just opening the packs, trying to get the shiny cards. And then when my son was growing up, we switched to Pokemon, and he and I got really deep into Pokemon TCG. We even did like competitive tournaments and things together for a while. So it's always been kind of a part of my life, but it was never my primary hobby. And it was only when I started to realize that I call this room the archives, because there's just bookshelves on each wall. And when those bookshelves were just full of models, I was like, okay, wait, I can't keep buying more models. I'm out of room. I got to think of a different way to do this. And that's what I said. Okay, well, I'm going to switch to trading cards. And at first I was buying cards for the models that I had. So I had a lot of Star Wars models, and also a lot of this series called Gundam, which are these giant robots that fight. Yeah. So I have a few of those. And so the first trading cards I bought were Star Wars cards and Gundam cards. So the Star Wars cards I got from Topps, and the Gundam cards, nobody makes those in the West. And so I was searching everywhere to try to find some, and the only place I found them was in China. And that's kind of how I started on looking at the Chinese market and what they were making, because they're making sets that no one else makes, just because they have such a bigger market to sell to. And so I started importing cards from China for the franchises that I loved. And then I was showing people like, hey, these exist. No one even knew they existed, right? I didn't know they existed.
They make really beautiful cards as well. I mean, I helped a publisher in China with this set, and as a thank you, he sent me a little box of cards, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They've got rounded edges, there's like little metallic flecks in them, really beautiful. And I'm like, where do you get these suppliers?
Really, when we try to get all kinds of shiny on our cards and stuff like that, the cost is prohibitive. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they managed to do it.
Yeah.
Well, they own the printing presses over there, so most of your Western countries are printing them in China and then getting them exported. So why not just keep it there, right?
Yeah. So absolutely. So when you started collecting cards that are more focused on art, have you always had an interest in art, or?
Always, yeah. I've never been a very good artist. My wife is she's an acrylic painter. And so this room is full of her paintings. There's actually a cat one right over there. But yeah, so she's done many very large acrylic paintings, and our house is just full of those. I love that. And I have an art history degree. So like when I go to a museum, I can bore you to death talking about the different artists and their styles and how that all works. So that's always been a part of me, but I've never been good at drawing. That's why I say it's like an honor to be here. Yeah.
Has wife never thought about publishing a trading card set with her cats? Why not?
Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah, but her work is so big. Can you really?
Oh yeah, you can do it.
You just take a photo and shrink it.
We know.
That's a good idea. Actually, that's like a good idea.
We're publishers.
I toy around with it too. I have some pretty fancy printers here, and I will occasionally like print my own cards for things that I want, but they're never as good, and I've never been able to draw.
Can you print to do the thicker cards?
Yes, I can do thick stock. I can do all sorts of I have all kinds of the different foil treatments, so you can buy those.
Really?
Yeah, and you print on them, and then just cut them, and you just layer it on the card.
Video of you making these cards?
Not yet. I did almost. There's one video. Please. I should redo it. So maybe 8 months ago or so, because I mentioned dangers a little bit. We should talk about that because it's pretty important. But one of the videos I did was on counterfeit cards and how to tell that a card is counterfeit or not. And I was looking at Pokemon and Magic cards, and I was showing people real Pokemon cards, counterfeit Pokemon cards that I had ordered from a company in China. They make very good ones there, right? But you can still tell. And then I showed ones that I had made here, and you can't tell. Like, mine are perfect.
Wow.
But that's just because I can spend, hours and hours and hours getting the color correction. Like, I did probably 100 prints to get it right.
Can you share the link with me to your video, and I'll include it in the show notes so that if people...
I'll email it to you right after this. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I bought myself a printer to try and do my own cards, and it just did not go well. It's not. It's an okay.
It's
printer,
hard.
But, you know, I would love for you to make a video, tell people what type of printer you've got.
Yes, please.
And,
it's an Artisan 1430. I think you mentioned a printer you had in one of these podcasts. I think it's very similar to yours.
Which company? Is it Epson?
Epson Artisan
8550, I think.
Okay, slow down, because I have to get one soon. An Artisan what?
Well, I don't know that you can buy these anymore. It's interesting, but this printer, when we bought it, was maybe like $300, but they sell for like $800 now. They're kind of like
that's too much.
Loved printers.
Okay, I can't afford that. But yeah.
I would invest in one to be able to do my own special cards, because, like we mentioned earlier, they are just so expensive.
Oh, it's ridiculous! It's ridiculous. I guess if you could actually make some of your own special cards, it might actually be worth it.
Totally, you could make your own sketch cards and everything.
This sounds like an episode all on its own. We'll have to get it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, I could show you all the different papers I have and where you get them. Some of the hardest papers to buy are what are called like blue core paper. So I don't know if you know this, but TCG cards actually have cardboard on the outside and then like a plastic core in the middle.
Oh,
and they call them blue core because if you cut a card in half, it looks blue in there. You cannot actually buy blue core paper. It's patented, and only Wizards of the Coast, they have like a very exclusive agreement. You can't get this, but there's a German company that makes black core paper that is exactly the same as just black. And so you can buy that paper.
I think that's what I did wrong. I was just using the wrong kind of paper, and it didn't look good, and and also when I was setting up the file, it was making me resize. I mean, somebody who's a bit more technologically minded than me will probably be able to figure that out. But I was like, I've already sized this in Photoshop, and I just don't know what you want me to do now. This is going to come out the wrong side.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. Yeah, a lot of times if I'm doing, like, again, we could probably do a whole video. I think I should do a video on this. But yeah, because you'll print them, like you said, and I'll measure them with a ruler. And then I'll lower the percentage a little bit and print it again. That's the only way to get it right, because otherwise, I don't know, the percentage in the computer never matches what actually comes out that printer.
Wow.
Sorry.
You do that over and over. Yeah.
I'm just making notes here. So, yeah, all right. All right. So you are obviously very technically minded. You are really into printing. What do you print? Are you looking to print your own cards? Is that why you know so much about all this? Why?
It's kind of like a side part of the hobby, really. Yeah.
Interesting. So you're someone who's a little bit obsessive about knowing a lot of.
Obsessive would be perfect term for this. Yes.
We both Lindsay and I completely understand the word obsessive.
Yeah, no. So everyone I know knows that about me. Yeah.
Well, that's super interesting. That means you got a ton of knowledge that a lot of people are going to want to know. But we'll keep the printing stuff for another episode because we're going to focus on all.
It would be amazing, like you mentioned earlier, when you just put one card in a pack. There's just one special card.
Yeah.
If you had a little side hustle, just printing those one special cards for people's packs.
It's not uncommon in the kinds of trading cards that I'm dealing with. Coming from other countries, there are a lot of sets like that. For example, I have one here.
I mean, from our point of view, producing sets, whatever you order, you have to order a great number of them.
Yep. To make it
with somebody
economical,
like you who can make just the one.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, for sure. There are some other dangers, though.
Before you get to the dangers, you may end up having to kind of carve out a little time for a side hustle and becoming a trading card printer.
I cannot overstate how long it takes, though. Like, to make one of those perfect, like, I was doing counterfeit cards for that video. I mean, it was probably like 100 hours or more just to make that one card, just in over and over printing, and it's not easy. Yeah.
But you were trying to recreate something that existed and get it perfect. I mean, you wouldn't need to do that if you were just sort of.
It would be much easier if it didn't have to be perfect.
Trying to convince them, you can do it.
So explain to us your dangers.
So it's a whole other part of what I'm trying to do with the channel. And it wasn't at first, I wasn't thinking this way, but it makes a lot of sense when you start to hear it. But one of the aspects of the Chinese market is that they don't think of copyright in the same way that we do here in the West, right? And so there are fully licensed sets that come out of China that have perfect licensing provenance, and they're totally legit, and they've commissioned artists. Those artists got paid. They're credited on the cards. It's good, right? I want to show off those sets, but there are a ton of sets that come out that just aren't that. They're either unlicensed products that were just printed, without any licensing at all, which that can be okay as long as they still commissioned artists. But then there's a lot of times where they're just going on the internet and stealing art and printing it on the cards and then calling that a set. And those are the kind we don't like.
Are you at liberty to mention any of those sets, or do you not want to give them airplay?
We talk about them all the time because I never know when I'm buying a box. I never know if it's going to be that or not. At this point, there's a couple companies that are very reputable, and so I know if I see their logo, it's going to be a good product. But then there are hundreds and hundreds of other companies that just you don't know until you buy it, right? And so a lot of times I'm buying a thing, I'll open it, we'll realize in the middle of the video, I'll stop, I'll pause the video, I'll go try to do like an image search for this. And if I find it on ArtStation or something, I'll just kind of, the video changes at that point, and it's not going to be a good review anymore. But it's important because I don't want other people to then go and buy those sets. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, so this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set or something, but all they've done is stolen artwork from these other artists. So instead, what you should do is go and buy this, and I'll show the website of this artist. I'll go buy their art because that's the original, right? So if you like what's on these cards, go buy that. Don't buy this.
Wonderful. I mean, kudos to you for doing something like that, because a lot of these sets and companies and stuff, they just won't get called out.
It's true, yeah. No one's there to call them out, and who would, right? It's such a niche thing to begin with. But I think it's really important. And the other big danger we're seeing a lot more these days, and in fact, these cat ones I showed you are this. So remember I showed you these cats with jobs. Super cute. It's an AI. You picked it up immediately. That's an AI art, right? And so it's another thing where it's like, I love it. I love that they're cats. I love that they're cute, but I wish they were hand drawn. I wish they were hand drawn, and I wish they had an artist credited.
AI? Is it stated on the card that it's AI art?
Not at all. No, they have the wrong number of whiskers, and the pan in the background has like two handles.
I can't really see the
Yeah, it's hard to see unless you have it up close. But it's something I'll do on the video is I'll show people like, this is how I know it's an AI artwork. Like, look at this pan; it has two handles. Like, no pan has two handles like that.
If at least it was listed, this set is AI generated or something, let people know. But when it's,
I mean, you could do a set of AI nightmares, ones that have gone really wrong, and they're just a mess. That would be pretty funny.
It'd be funny, yeah. Yeah, but it's a very growing danger, and we're seeing more and more and more of it. Really? And it's getting harder to detect. So it's becoming, I think, a lot more important these days to find those companies. One of them is called card.fun, and they are incredibly reputable. I actually have a really cool card from them here. This is The Little Prince.
Oh, gorgeous. So cute.
Yeah, and it comes in an acrylic case for the 80th anniversary, and that was
they're so special, aren't they?
That set, you get one card in the box. So you buy the hobby box; it has one card in it.
Okay.
I mean, that's great if it's a super fancy collectible card. I mean, do they do they always bring that out with just the one, or is it just on a special occasion?
The set there are 36 cards that are available in the set, but when you buy a box, you're going to get one at random from that set. The one I have there is the second most rare. That one has like silver on it. There's one that has gold on it. That one's the only one that's more rare than that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you were talking earlier about making sets where you just sell one card in a box. That's actually pretty common out there.
Really? I've never heard it. Never heard that before.
Yeah.
How fascinating. But do you have any opinion on actual sketch cards? Do you collect any of those, or is it more the printed?
I have tons of sketch cards. I actually commissioned some myself. So I have one of my favorites here. I'll show you. It's kind of silly, but this is Thanos on vacation in Hawaii. Right?
Love it.
So I had an artist draw me that one because I obviously I love Hawaiian shirts, and I also love the Marvel Avengers universe. So I one day, like, they're kind of expensive to commission, but one day I would love to get a set of the full Avengers team, all in their Hawaiian clothes. It would be so cool. I think
so funny.
That would be awesome. Oh my God.
right. But that's the sort of thing that I do. But yeah, I have many sketch cards. I don't think I have any of yours. Yours are kind of expensive. I haven't pulled any yet. But yeah. But anytime I can get a sketch card, I love it. They actually, I don't have it here, but some of the Japanese sets, like manga is a big thing in Japan, these comics, right? So they will have the original comic artists do a sketch card for the set. And I have a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sketch card that was done by the artist and signed by the artist. It's very, very awesome. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
So what, as a collector, what do you see missing in the hobby, in the whole hobby industry?
Great question.
That is a good question. I think a lot of what I see coming from China, I would love to see in U.S. sets. So I think more of these stranger cut relics. Like, could you imagine? I don't even know if this would be possible. Could you imagine like a Star Wars set where they took like Ben Kenobi's robe and like cut pieces and put it into the right? That would be, I think, super cool. So I think more creativity.
I think they do have that, don't they, though? Things like that, similar?
There are some, but I would love to see more and more of it. And I think that would be super cool. But then also just more niche things that nobody would make a set from, right?
Well, that's what we're here for,
I love it. Yeah.
Like cats on holiday in Hawaiian shirts.
Love it. Would love this, right? And it's what drew me, actually. So it drew me into that independent world where you guys are playing and where Richard Parks plays, because you will make sets of things that Topps will never make a set from, right? I have one. This is like my pride and joy. I show Richard this all the time too. But this is a sealed, it's still sealed, Series 1 of his Mystery Science Theater 3000 cards.
That's
I'm
an
never
awesome
going to open
box
that.
as well.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
As Richard actually often tells all of us Padawans that he's coaching and stuff like that, he says, for little people like us, the thing to do is the niche sets, because those are the things that the big companies simply can't do, because it would never cover production.
That makes sense for them, yeah.
Like, that's kind of cool. There's room for all of us small people.
Definitely, yeah. It needs to be bigger, I think. I would love, like, this pirate set that Richard just did. It was kind of my dream to sell that thing out in the first. I didn't succeed, I don't think, because it took a few weeks to sell it out, but I wanted to sell it out in the first week. Like, that thing deserved to be sold out, right? And
yeah,
because there's no way there aren't 200 people who want a master set of pirates in the world. There are definitely that many people. They just don't know about it.
Yeah. It's really getting difficult. Now that social media sites are making you pay to put your stuff in front of people, and it's getting harder.
Yeah, and some of the sites are changing. Twitter, I mean, Twitter, I don't even hardly ever go on Twitter anymore. It's just,
I don't know how to use it. Yeah.
there are three weird commercials that pop up in the middle of everything and violent things that I don't know why it's there. And I don't know. I don't really go on that anymore. Instagram is cool, but it's just so hard to get things up there for me anyway.
Yeah. And to get it to be seen, even with my channel, they call me a business account. Even I don't make any money from this at all. And so because of that, when I do a post, they won't show it to many people unless they always want me to pay them some money. I never do because I don't have any money. But yeah, it's very difficult. But yeah, a lot of the reason the channel exists kind of to build that audience. So I think I just got over 700 subscribers yesterday.
Sweet.
Yeah, we grow. And the way you do it is by having such a variety so that people can come in if they want to see the anime cards. I've got a playlist just for anime cards. They can just look at that. They can subscribe to just that. They want to see Star Wars, they can see that. They want to see art, they can do that. I have an independent one they can look at. And then I'm always trying to mix it. So when I'm doing an anime video, I'll bring in that Christmas tree card. I think I had that in like 10 different videos. I was showing it in every single one because I'm like, this is my favorite card of the week. So here, I'm going to show it to you. And it's a way to mix those audiences together.
That's that you organize it all up like that for specific groups of people. That's amazing. Are you a list person?
Yes. You are. I actually, I used to have an inventory of the archives, like a Google spreadsheet with every box, how many packs were left, what I had paid for it, all that kind of stuff. I had to stop doing that because it got a little depressing to look at this. But yeah, I love doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
You and Ingrid will get on well. She's loves lists. She's always, I've got a new app for lists. Another one, lists.
I use mostly just the spreadsheets, but yeah, I do a lot of spreadsheets. And when I do my giveaways, I remember I did a giveaway and the comment on the video was like, trying to understand your giveaway process is like doing my business taxes. And I was like, yes, perfect.
That's incredible. So, where do you see yourself in 1 year from now? Do you see yourself still on YouTube? Are you going to expand to other places, or?
I'm always trying. So I have an Instagram account. I have a very small Facebook account that I mostly only use to interact with the independent world. Because Richard Parks, that's the only place he only really exists there, so I kind of have to be there.
Just can't get him on
right? Nowhere else. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, he's cool. He can do what he wants. TikTok, I do a little bit, but again, it's just really hard to get any reach there. The only place that I've been able to expand consistently has been YouTube. And so I will probably continue to expand there and just keep all the other things alive.
How did you come across the small publishers? Was it through Kickstarter or Facebook, would you say? It was, yeah. So I remember finding Richard Parks first. It was that box, actually, the Mystery Science Theater 3000. So when I was in high school, I'm an old man. I don't look it, but I am. Oh, man.
When I was in high school, that show was very popular, right? And so we would watch it every night after school, and we had all the episodes memorized. And I know there's a Manos set coming out with cats soon that is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see that.
My set.
Yeah, I know it is, and I cannot wait to be the first one to buy that. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so when I started collecting, like what I was doing was trying to think of things that I loved: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Gundam, of course, and I would search for those on eBay, and there would be like nothing or very expensive things, and so then I would widen my search and search all over the place, and then I would find a Gundam set from China that has this, or then the Mystery Science Theater one, I think I stumbled onto his Facebook page from there, and I had missed all those Kickstarters. They had happened years earlier. And so I started to contact people and be like, I want boxes of this. I'll pay anything. And I've got people to send me. So I have sealed box of all four of them now. But I had to pay quite a lot of money for those, but I have them.
So to answer your question, you pretty much found the small publishers just through internet searches and stuff.
Yeah. But it was so hard, and I don't, that's not right. So like a lot of what I'm doing with the website and the Instagram page, they're all linked together. Again, like I work in computers during the day, so I use some of that, and I link it all together to try to make that audience more discoverable. And so a lot of the keywords that I was searching for now go to my site. Like immediately, right? And I have great information there. I'll tell you exactly where to buy it, what it's like, all that kind of stuff. And so it's not going to be hard anymore to find those things.
Well, we're going
to thank you for your service.
It's important, yeah. I mean, because it was so I didn't want to have to search for hours to find, a cool set that I wanted. It should be the first thing that pops up on Google.
I mean, people like me haven't really got much of a clue what they're doing on social media. Like, I just pop up a few images and go, "This is coming out soon," and then fingers crossed. Like, it's I don't even know how to link everything up.
Yeah, it's but I mean, it's important to do that if you want to widen the audience out. But yeah, that's one of the things I'm trying to do for sure. So I guess I would, well, go ahead. Yeah.
Quick question. What's your opinion on mailing lists?
I'm a very anti-spam person. And so I don't have a mailing list. I don't think I'll ever probably do that.
Really?
I just don't like spam. I'm sorry.
Lindsay must really like you now. It's so hard to get her.
They've been hassling me to do a mailing list for a long time, but I'm like, I don't want to bother anyone. I'm very
exactly.
So I mean, I will use it, but it'll only be when a new set's coming out, and that'll be it. Just the one email. This is coming out. Check it out.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But there's ones like the sports card investor one or something. They're sending you ads every day. I'm not interested in this kind of thing. Even when I do my giveaways, they are email based. Because I have to be able to email you back to send you if you won, right? So I have to collect those emails. But what I'll do is I'll register a new Gmail account, and then when the giveaway is over, I delete the account. It's completely deleted. Yeah, so there's no way to misuse those emails.
Okay, very good. Well, I will admit that I do have a mailing list, but
I'm on it. I don't mind.
Generally speaking, it's like, I don't know, if there's nothing happening, you get one maybe every 2 months or something like that. So
those are fine. Yeah.
I would hope that it isn't too spammy.
Well, it takes such a long time to sort all the artwork out and then run your Kickstarter and get it printed and then get it posted. And, there's a lot of months in between. So, you don't need to be too spammy.
Except for what you're doing. Well, anyway, that's our next podcast. We're kind of like going overlapping a lot of stuff. Let's stick with you, Eric. We're coming up on nearly an hour, so I think we're going
already. Wow,
already, yeah.
Sorry,
I can't believe how fast it goes once you get chatting.
So, Eric, I'd like to leave you the last few minutes to say whatever we have not asked you, because we have like so many questions to ask you and stuff like that. What would you like other collectors to know?
Oh, that's a great point. I think the dream for me would be for all the big channels, the like really big channels, to realize that this exists, right? Because I don't think they're actively ignoring it. I think they just don't know. Right? They just don't know that there's this whole other world of trading cards out there that is in this niche category, this independent category, that is doing more creative things than any Western company is ever going to do, right? Like, it's just like this dragon skin card. It still just blows my mind. Like, you're never going to see that come out of Topps. It's just never going to happen. But the world needs it. And it's such a cool concept. And so my dream would be that, all of the collectors who are just out there getting baseball cards and things like that, start to realize, I actually liked G.I. Joe when I was growing up. Like, maybe there should be a G.I. Joe trading. There isn't. This is one that doesn't exist, by the way. Wow. It would be amazing to have, right? Or He-Man is another one where there's one trading card set from He-Man from like the 80s that costs thousands of dollars now. why isn't there another one? Like, why doesn't that exist?
The creation of humans, it still fascinates me when I watch the program about how it was first made and that it was a toy first, and it was an accidental toy, and then they're like,
I saw that on Netflix. That was awesome.
That was so cool, wasn't it? And how Cringer was just left over from an animal set they'd done, and they just painted it green. And, fascinating. It must be a really cool job to have. We've got these bits left over, let's make something.
Yeah,
and then they had to name it, and they're like, what do you name something like this? How about He-Man? Sure, it works great.
That was fun to sit in a room with people just throwing things out in the air like that. That must be so much fun.
Yeah, so creative, love it. But I'm a big toy fan as well. I love toys. I've got like a big Ninja Turtles collection. It's all up in the loft. Because I just haven't got space to display it, which is a shame. But yeah, action figures are awesome.
Yeah, space is a huge problem. But yeah, that's really my dream, and it's kind of like I didn't see anyone else doing it, and so I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm not qualified at all to do this, but somebody has to, and until someone else comes along, it's going to be me.
No, you're so knowledgeable about like how they're made, and I think you're a perfect person to do it. And we very much appreciate you putting our stuff out in front of people. It's
I'm glad to do
it.
Absolutely. You have no idea how much we all appreciate it. All the independent publishers.
Yeah.
And you're definitely coming back on to talk about the technical side of things. That sounds
Sure.
I can't wait for that. I love that stuff.
I mean, I could teach you ways to get paper for free too. A lot of the companies will send samples, right? And so free samples are the way.
We're going to close this episode down, and we're going to take some. No, where can people find you? Where's your website? All your socials.
Oh, geez, everything is branded under the Trading Card Archivist label.
Hello.
Sorry, it's sometimes
That's fantastic. I love it. It's fantastic. My son is in college now, so we miss him around the house. He doesn't pop in anymore. Yeah. But I think all again, everything is under Trading Card Archivist. So the YouTube channel, the website, the Instagram account, those are kind of the biggest places for me. I have the Facebook and TikTok, but those are really just for I just use those to talk to people pretty much. And the other thing I would say is, like, don't be afraid to message me. I'm not like some weird elite person. I'm just a regular collector. I want to trade. That's why I'm doing this. So if you see something cool in my videos, like, I want to trade with you, contact me. Let's do it. Yeah.
Awesome. All the links are in the show notes below for sure. I highly encourage everyone to go explore your website and find out all that stuff, and to go to the YouTube channel and check out all those playlists that Eric Lanz has. Thank you so much. Again, a huge appreciative thank you for all those videos you've been doing of the small company sets and things like that. Yeah. That's great.
Just remember, the videos can't exist if you don't make the sets. So the thanks really goes in the other direction here.
Well, there's a whole bunch of us small collectors that are small publishers that are working like crazy to get stuff out there. So
I want to see it all. I want to see everything.
Thank you again, Eric, and can't wait to have you back on.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.